Well, we're excited about getting the season started. Auburn is the only team in the SEC that will open up against a top 25 opponent, and we're going to try to make history tomorrow night, as we've never beaten a top 25 team in an opener. People ask me why the game, why'd you take the game, why go all the way to South Dakota? It's just real simple, just to try to stay relevant in the world of college basketball, which is harder and harder to do now. Um, and some, you know, just Baylor is a preseason top 20 team. We're not. Baylor has three guys that have been selected to various forms of like all Big 12 stuff, and we have one in Janai Broom. Jacoby Waters is the preseason freshman of the year. And so, anyways, really good team, really well coached. Scott Drew and the job that he's done at Baylor arguably is as good a job as has been done in college basketball, kind of considering what he inherited and where they're at right now. I think in 16 years, I think he's 16 years, he's been to 11 tournaments. So they've been really good. They've been really consistent. The challenges going in, obviously, are the biggest challenge right now is we have no tape on them. We got no eyes on them from a standpoint of they had two private exhibitions and had agreements to not exchange film, and so we're basically basing what we saw off of what they've done historically. So that'll be an interesting challenge early in that game to see how they're playing differently. We're excited about getting started.
Do you still feel confident in both Aiden and Janai being able to play well?
Yeah, I think both Aiden and Janai will be able to play tomorrow.
After going back and watching the team now, where do you feel like you guys have shown the most improvement in the preseason heading into Tennessee?
Well, again, it'll be really hard to duplicate Baylor's athleticism. They are historically one of the top 20 rebounding teams in the country, one of the top 10 offensive rebounding teams in the country. So they will fly to the boards. They're athletic, they're big, they're physical, and our greatest challenge will be keeping them off the boards. I think from our standpoint, I'd say our half-court offensive execution has been pretty good for early in the season. We've shot the ball pretty well. And now the quality of the opponent is going to step up in a huge way. And then, our challenges continue to be defense and rebounding, and we'll just see what that looks like. That's what I would anticipate our two biggest challenges being.
Yes, Bruce, you mentioned that you have no tape on them. Did that mean that you were a little bit careful against AUM and showing too much to try to keep them from not knowing as much about you as you don't know about them?
Yeah, I mean, I was anticipating that we'd get one of their games and they'd get one of our games. So, because after today, everybody will have a game, but they didn't want to do it, so we obviously didn't do it. There is an NABC film exchange policy that encourages you to do it, but it's not an NCAA rule, so we're good with it. But it does mean that both teams go in really with very little scouting ability.
Hey, Bruce. Obviously, you want to win the game, but with so many new players going against a team like Baylor, what are you curious to learn about your team? Like, what are some things that you're really interested to see how they react?
Yeah, that's a great point, and it's one of the things I keep talking to our team about. Is we're gonna get exposed. I would have loved to have gotten more exposed in our preseason, couple of preseason opportunities. And what I mean by exposed is, what aren't we very good at? What are we going to struggle with? And my anticipation would be physicality or the rebounding. Some other things that I don't want to give Baylor too much in advance scout on. But where do we go from here? Like, in other words, great opportunity to play a team in the top 25. We're not. And so can we get ourselves in there with a win? You know, that'd be tremendous way to start the season. We've got so many quality opponents in the preseason that, you know, a week from now we play Notre Dame in New York, in Brooklyn. So, you know, it's here. And so how quickly can we adjust? You know, I told the guys I really wanted them to remain really positive with each other because we have so much teaching to do with so many new guys. And so, again, we got to kind of throw it out there and know they're going to be in the heat of the battle and just see how they react. Hey, man, for most of them, I hope it brings out the best in them. For some, there'll be challenges in kind of knowing what we do and why we do it, and late game situations. I mean, we could have some late game, close game situations, I hope, either offensively, defensively. How do we handle those situations? How are we able to execute? So, bottom line, no matter what, we need to grow and we need to keep getting better, and that's what I've talked to the guys about, and I think they're prepared for that. And I want them to stay really positive with each other because I'll be on their asses enough for everybody.
You just mentioned you have 3 of those first 4 games away from home. I know you said you gave the team some time off. Was that as beneficial as you wanted it to be?
I thought the 2 days off on Saturday and Sunday, actually it was Friday, Thursday and Friday. They had Thursday and Friday off. We're good. I thought they were good. We went pretty good Saturday and Sunday in preparation. So, yeah, I mean it was one more day than normal, and I do think it was fresh. It did let Aiden and Janai have an extra day of rehab and recovery, and then they were both able to go yesterday.
Yeah. Bruce, I know it's still kind of a new team to you in a sense. I mean, you haven't played a bunch of games with them. What is this team's personality like in the locker room? What's their constitution like compared to some of your other teams you've had? Can you get a feel for that yet?
Yeah, I mean, they get along. I mean, they really get along, and they've done a good job pushing each other and a good job teaching each other. And it's one of the harder working teams I've had. It's been a team that's gotten along so well, but we have had no adversity yet. We just haven't. So just obviously don't really know. I mean, look, I definitely think they're prepared. And you know, we've got good leaders in the locker room. We've got guys that have been there and done that. They've just not played together much. Let's just say they've played 2 games together so far. Now Baylor's got a lot of new guys too. They've got some core guys back like we do, but they've got some new pieces, and they got good new pieces. So I think both teams are going to learn a lot.
As you brought Aiden Holloway back, what has been the process of kind of getting him both healthy, but also to prepare him to face a historically really good defensive team in his first college game?
I mean, yeah, it's probably the toughest first game will be for Aiden, because this will be his first game, because he didn't play in the first 2 exhibition games. And so, well, he did, but he played 2 minutes against Furman. So this is going to be you talk about, putting him in a tough spot. But look, he's born to be in a tough spot. This is what he relishes. And so he's excited about playing, and his teammates are excited about having to be out there.
Yes, Bruce, I believe Wednesday's the start of the early sign-up period, and you mentioned in your opening about being relevant, playing teams like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about how your recruiting is going so far and how things are lining up for the future there?
Well, we would like to try to sign 1 or 2 high school guys in the fall if we can, and so if we do, that'll be great. But I think that with the transfer portal and things like that, I think you're not going to see more than a couple of high school guys early ever, just because of how important it is to still get old and stay old if you can. And I think this roster still could. So it'll be quality, hopefully, but it will be hopefully quality, but it won't be quantity.